Alright, in this lesson here we're going to be talking about solving quadratic equations by factoring. So first off, we need to understand what does it mean by quadratic. We should know what equations are and what we've been doing on the factoring scale there. So let's look at what is a quadratic. A quadratic is a polynomial that has degree 2. Okay? And here's an example: x squared plus 6x plus 8. Here's where the equation is. We throw an equal sign, is equal to 0. Okay. What we're going to do here is we're going to find the solutions to this equation. And what we're going to do is we're going to factor it and then set each factor equal to 0. So just like in the previous section on factoring polynomials, or factoring trinomials in this case, because there's 3 terms, we're going to go through that same process. So I'm going to start with an x and an x here. Okay. Two numbers are multiplied together, it gives us 8, but when we add them we get 6. What about a 2 and a 4? 2 here and a 4. 2 times 4 is 8, and 4 plus 2 is 6. I'm going to put a plus sign and a plus sign, set it equal to 0 still. Now I'm going to set each one of these equal to 0 and solve for x. And this becomes x is equal to negative 2. If you took negative 2 and you plugged it back in here, we get negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So that's going to be one of our solutions. And then we have x plus 4, setting that equal to 0. And this is just going to be negative 4 will be our solution to this equation. Plugging negative 4 and negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So the solutions to this equation up here are negative 2 and negative 4. Okay. Alright, looking at another example. Whoa. We have x squared plus 2x, and we're going to set that equal to 0. So what numbers can we plug into here in order to give us 0 out? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to factor an x out, and we'll be left with x plus 2. Well, guess what? We're pretty much done now. Now what we want to do is set each factor equal to 0, and x plus 2 equal to 0, and obviously the only solution to this equation is 0, right? X is 0, then both sides are equal, and negative 2. Because if I were to put negative 2 in, negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So our solutions to this equation up here are 0 and negative 2. Alright, what about 4x squared minus 9? Setting that equal to 0. Now what we could do here is, well, we could write this as a, whoops, that should be a 2 right there. 2x squared minus 3 squared, that would be the difference of 2 squares. And so this ends up becoming 2x minus 3 times 2x plus 3, setting each one of these equal to 0, each one of these factors, and 2x plus 3. And of course we end up with x is equal to 3 halves after solving for x, and x is equal to negative 3 halves. And if we were to plug this back into this equation, the 3 halves, this side should equal 0. If not, we did something wrong. I'm sure we did.